Welcome to A Celtic State of Mind. I'm Paul John Dykes, and this morning we're going to take another wander round paradise. The big talking point will be obviously Tuesday night against Atlético Madrid in Spain, but we've got two other games to talk about as well. How did we do against St Mirren, and then at the weekend against Ross County? It's been a topsy-turvy Champions League campaign so far for Brendan Rodgers' Celtic side, and when you looked at the fixtures at the start of the season, the two games against Atlético Madrid would have been the toughest fixtures of them all. We got a draw, of course, here at Celtic Park, 2 each. What a game. And probably the peak of Brendan Rodgers' second tenure as the Celtic manager. Can we recreate that result? Can we get a result over in Spain? Well, I think it's not beyond us. We peaked, as I said, and I think there was a dip after the last game here, the 2-2 game against Atlético Madrid. We went to Easter Road and drew nothing each, and then we had St Mirren here at Celtic Park, where it was a hard-fought 2-1 victory against Stephen Robinson's side. That's what you expect from his teams. They came, they played their game, and they played it very, very well, and it was down to O to get the winner. And the big question would be, would he keep his jersey against Ross County? And he did, and I thought he played really well against Ross County. He didn't get his goal, of course, but he did perform particularly well across the piece. Does he play against Atlético Madrid during the week? I don't think so. Kyogo will come back in for that one, but it was great to see O getting the game time. How did everyone else perform? Well, there were big changes from Brendan Rodgers. When you look in the defence, for example, at right back, Alistair Johnson was rested, very much like Carter Vickers was rested against St Mirren. And Tony Ralston came in, and Tony Ralston gave his usual performance, solid. What I like about him is he overlaps, he hits the byline, he gets the crosses in. So a very good performance, but I'm expecting Johnson to come back in against Atlético Madrid. Left back, Greg Taylor seemed to be everywhere, didn't he? Playing the inverted role, looked almost like a central midfielder at times. And then the central defensive partnership at the weekend was Liam Scales and Cameron Carter-Vickers back in for Nat Phillips, who had played against St Mirren. And I wouldn't expect the central defensive partnership to change for our next European campaign. You move into the midfield, another few changes, and a rest for Matt O'Reilly, best player of the season so far for Celtic, but he was benched, and that was to give him a wee bit of recovery time. He'll be back in the side here when we go over to Spain and play Atlético Madrid. Callum McGregor was his usual self, turning defence into attack, that transition that he does so well, and David Turnbull was given another start as well alongside Paulo Bernardo. Turnbull done what he does. He scored a great goal, but not only that, he also performed really well. There were pockets of his previous performance where he was in and out of the game, and he obviously missed that penalty against St Mirren as well. But against Ross County, his overall game was excellent. And the big question, of course, is who gets Hatate's jersey against Atlético Madrid? Callum McGregor's got to play. Matt O'Reilly will come back in, but who gets the other jersey? Is it Bernardo? Is it Turnbull? Or even Odin Holm? Well, I think it all depends. If Brendan Rodgers picks the team on form, David Turnbull gets the nod. If he picks it because he wants the defensive qualities of a midfielder against this side, Paulo Bernardo might get a game, or even Odin Holm. Who would I go for? I'm going to pick David Turnbull. I think it would be very harsh if he was not to feature in the starting 11. And then up top, we had O, as I said. He had that excellent game, I felt. And then you're looking at the wingers. I thought Yang has shown his trickery time and time again, but at the weekend he also showed defensive qualities that we haven't seen a great deal of, so fair play to him. There was a big test for him because he was being booed from early in the game due to being on the end of a terrible tackle, and I thought he was spooked at Fir Park when the same thing happened. This time round he got through it. He had a very, very good game. I don't think he's going to start in our next fixture, however. Maeda, he comes back into the side, and he will also be an important side part of the starting 11 when we play Atlético Madrid. And I think the other wing will be housed by Luis Palma. What a performance when he came on. What a goal he scored. It was Rodgers-esque. And you think about these teams who play so tight at the back, you can't defend that. You can't defend David Turnbull's goal either. So that's my starting 11 against Atlético Madrid on Tuesday night. So that's my starting lineup against Atlético Madrid. And on the bench will be, of course, James Forrest. James Forrest came on as a substitute, and he scored in his 15th consecutive season. What an incredible achievement from the man who is celebrating his testimonial year I've heard a lot, both on social media and also in the comments, about people who don't think James Forrest is worthy now of a place within the Celtic squad. But I think Brendan Rodgers is using him properly. He's using him the right way. He's going to start some games and he's going to be introduced as he was against Ross County and others. And I think he's shown that he is an important part of the squad if he's used properly. And he was delighted. I was delighted for him. But I was also delighted for the fact that one of our wingers hit the byline and dinked over a cross and was scored from it. I don't think we've been doing enough of that. In the past, it was the front post zinged in. Kyogo would normally get on the end of that. In the back post ones, it was normally Abada and even Jota last season getting on the end of those crosses from the wingers. Who would forget that Maeda one against Rangers, where he was really quick to react and Jota scored the header at the back post. So yeah, more of that, and well done, James Forrest. So my starting lineup: Joe Hart in goals, Alistair Johnston at right back, Greg Taylor at left back. Central defensive partnership will be Liam Scales and Cameron Carter-Vickers, with the midfield three: Callum McGregor, Matt O'Reilly, David Turnbull, and up top it's got to be Kyogo, Maeda and Palma. That's how I start against Atlético Madrid. How do we do this week? What do you think the score's going to be? Let us know in the comments section underneath. And what else has a Celtic State of Mind been up to this week? Well, we welcomed Pierre Van Hooijdonk, George Cadet and John Collins to our latest live event at Don Max in Glasgow, and it was a great night of emotion, laughs and a wee bit of insight and some regret as well. But we have recorded a sit-down interview with Pierre, John Collins and George Cadet. That's going to be on the channel very, very soon. And we were able to raise again in that live event more funds for young Jamie Tierney, 4-year-old boy who's fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And we raised £600 by auctioning off some items that were donated by Mr. Jim Crockwell. So thank you, Jim, for that. And that money is obviously going to go ahead towards the treatment for wee Jamie. Thanks everybody for getting involved in that initiative. If you want to send us more of your jerseys or get involved, the link is underneath this video. Thank you everybody for getting involved in our wander around paradise. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow for a Celtic State of Mind.